Hey, what's happening guys, Chris here, checking out another one of those Battlefield 1 They Shall Not Pass DLC weapons, and today I'm going to be talking all about a French medic rifle known as the RSC 1917. So right the way back, at the beginning of the 20th century, the French army had a bit of an old-fashioned arsenal which was due for an update. Work was carried out on a few experimental semi-automatic weapon designs in the hopes of creating something to replace their model 1886 Lebel rifles, which had been around for quite a while. After loads of secret government-only weapon trials and tests were conducted, including up to 20 different self-loading designs, it was the A6 Meunier rifle which seemed to be the best bet, and so was selected by the French army in 1910. Now, the main problem with picking the Meunier rifles was the fact that they used an, albeit more modern, better cartridge, but it wasn't the standard 8mm Lebel cartridge which was used by a lot of the other French weapons at the time, which caused some complications regarding ammo supply. And with a massive war on the verge of kicking off, the hunt for another trench-friendly self-loading infantry rifle continued. Kitting the French army out with a brand new set of guns just before the war wouldn't have exactly been a great idea, and so prototypes adapted from existing Lebel rifles which utilised an 8mm cartridge started to surface not long after. But it wasn't until a couple of years later when the French army finally adopted the gun that they were looking for, the semi-automatic RSC model 1917, which was designed by three weapon inventors, Ribeyrolles, Sutter and Chauchat, hence why the gun is called the RSC, after their initials. This new rifle used the old ammunition which was readily available, and quite a lot of these guns were issued to French troops in large numbers. It's said that almost 86,000 RSC 1917 rifles were manufactured by the end of the Great War, and the gun was one of the first semi-automatic rifles to be adopted on such a large scale. But anyway, let's talk Battlefield 1. It's a DLC weapon from They Shall Not Pass, and there's two variants available, with those being the Factory and Optical, which can both be unlocked by completing a few assignments first. But I'll be going over these assignments and the differences between the two versions later on in the guide. Right now though, let's see how the rifle compares to the other medic guns that already exist in the game. So statistically, the RSC 1917 has some really interesting set of figures, which makes it function quite differently to a lot of the other rifles. With a maximum damage of 53 up to 44 meters and a minimum damage of 38 beyond 59 meters, this basically means that the gun is going to hit like a friggin' truck. 2 bullets is all you're going to need to take down an enemy up to the range of 47 meters. With all of the other medic rifles taking at least 3 rounds to kill, this grants you with some insane stopping power at close to medium distances. And if your opponent has already been weakened to below 53 health, then they'll usually go down with just a single round to the body. The RSC boasts the highest maximum and minimum damage values of all of the other medic rifles, though despite its long range damage being a bit higher than average, it'll still translate over to a 3 bullet kill beyond 47 meters, putting it on par with some of the others when dealing with a fully healed opponent. Now, the RSC 1917 might dominate in the damage department, but there's a couple of things which the gun just doesn't do particularly well, with the first being the fact that it doesn't shoot very fast, at all. Firing at a speed of 164 RPM makes it the slowest shooting primary weapon that a medic player can equip. Because of this lack of rapid firepower, it means that landing shots in a gunfight is crucial if you want to come out of it alive. Every missed round gives your opponent even more of an opportunity to gun you down, as that sluggish RPM won't allow you to spam shots and chip away enemy health quite as effectively as with the other guns. To make it an even harder weapon to use, the rifle's also got the worst recoil pattern of the lot too, with a vertical kick of 1.8 and a horizontal kick of 1.1, making it the least accurate and stable weapon to roll with. You'll often have to readjust your sights and line them back up with an enemy player after every shot, which, in a way, sometimes makes the gun feel like it's got a lot in common with the Scout class's infantry rifles in the way it's used. With a muzzle velocity of 720 meters per second, this sort of puts it in the middle. It's not quite as fast as the Selbstlader, but it's not too far off, and this might be another factor to indicate that the gun functions best as more of a mid-range weapon instead of something that you should be sniping with. Magazine size is on the smaller side, with the gun holding a total of 6 bullets, one more round than the likes of the Autoloading 8 and the Selbstlader 1906, which are guns often criticised for their low ammo capacity. But thankfully the RSC 1917 reloads a bit faster, with it utilising those M-block clips, and this will allow you to get back into the fight slightly quicker, as you won't need to fumble around all day with individual bullets. So there's 2 variants of the gun, with the first being the Factory, and this can be unlocked by getting yourself 50 kills with the M1907 SL Sweeper, and by bringing 50 players back from the dead with the medical syringe. The Factory Variant is basically going to do what the other Factory Variants do and allow the gun to recover faster from recoil, with a huge boost to its recoil decrease for both ADS and hipfire. The sights are going to reset a tad faster, back to their original position, and this should make it a bit easier for lining up follow-up shots quickly. As for the Optical Variant, this can be unlocked by killing 15 players with the Autoloading 8.35 Factory in a round, and by performing 75 heals, which will accumulate over matches. What the Optical Variant has, which the Factory doesn't, is its own lens sight and vertical foregrip. It's not going to regain accuracy quite as quickly, but it will provide you with some improved ADS benefits, with less spread increase per shot, and a generally lower base spread, which is going to make the gun feel a bit more accurate when lining up individual shots on targets. But anyway, in conclusion, the RSC 1917 is the medic rifle to use if you want to pack the biggest punch. Being able to knock down other players in just 2 bullets definitely gives it an edge at close to medium ranges, though this raw stopping power can sometimes be harder to take advantage of, down to the gun having both the heaviest kick and the slowest rate of fire of all the medic rifles. And because it kills in the same amount of bullets at long range as a few of the others, but with the RSC having those huge negative factors weighing it down, this generally makes it a slightly less effective gun for long range battles. Up close, you can kill pretty quickly, but only if you can get those bullets to land on target, which often makes it play out as a bit of a skill weapon in closer quarters. But medium ranges is where the gun tends to perform best, outside of those frantic CQC fights, but just before that free bullet kill zone. And so long as you can tame that heavy kick and line those shots up one by one, you'll be able to wipe other players off the battlefield before they even know what hits them. But that's all for another one, guys. Thanks for watching, be sure to give me a like if you enjoyed the guide, and subscribe to see tons more content on my channel. Take it easy, and I'll be seeing you in that next one.